Welcome to the Sage Solutions Podcast, where we talk about all things personal growth, personal development, and becoming your best self. My name is David Sage, and I am a self-worth and confidence coach with Sage Coaching Solutions. Today, we're joined by my lovely wife and co-host, Hannah Sage.
Hi, guys.
Our topic today is both timely and transformative. The benefits of getting outdoors. With daylight savings time having just sprung forward, it's the perfect moment to talk about how embracing nature can boost your mood, health, and personal development.
Before we get into it, our goal with this podcast is to share free, helpful tools with you and anyone you know who is looking to improve their life. So take action, subscribe, and share this podcast with them.
Let's talk about daylight savings time, which many of us experience as a reminder that time and sort of nature's rhythm or our circadian rhythm is shifting. In the United States, we have what's called daylight savings time. During the spring, we shift our clocks forward 1 hour or spring forward to preserve more daylight for later during the day, and then shift back or fall back 1 hour during the fall back to normal time, designated by the time zones. Daylight savings was created to give farmers more daylight later in the day so that they had extra time to do their farming and get more done while they had the light to do it. However, advances in technology and innovation have created electricity and lights and many different things that make it pretty much unnecessary these days. Most people assume that daylight savings time is pretty innocuous. It doesn't really come with any downsides. However, it does have its drawbacks. This abrupt 1 hour shift can disrupt our sleep patterns and circadian rhythms. Some studies have found that the transition to daylight savings in the spring is associated with an increase in sleep disturbances and even a slight uptick in cardiovascular events, meaning heart attacks and strokes. This can be particularly challenging for those already struggling with sleep or stress-related issues, not to mention the number of people that have their clocks not change or wake up too late or are fired from a job from being late to work. It ends up causing a lot of different issues.
But regardless of all the negatives that we've kind of already covered, we're really hoping to be able to reframe our thoughts around daylight savings time and look at it with a little bit more of a positive lens.
Because frankly, if you live in the US, daylight savings time is what it is. It may eventually go away, but currently, you don't get to choose whether daylight savings time happens. It happens for all of us, and you kind of have to just accept it and deal with it. Like I always say, focus on your locus. What is inside of your control that you can do? Because daylight savings is outside of your control.
With daylight savings time, we have more time in the sunshine. And that's something that I found extremely beneficial coming from someone who does deal with quite a bit of seasonal depression in the winter months. Having that extra hour of daylight has huge benefits for a lot of people, including myself.
Like Hannah said, there's an opportunity here to reframe or change our perspective of the issue. By being aware of the challenges that daylight savings can bring, we can proactively mitigate these effects. We can use this transitional period as a reminder to adjust your sleep schedule gradually, if possible. The spring forward transition isn't just about changing our clocks. Like Hannah said, it's a wake-up call that nature is urging us to maximize the daylight around us. With longer evenings on the horizon, this is an ideal opportunity to schedule time outdoors. Think of it as a natural invitation to integrate more fresh air and sunshine into your daily routine.
Coming from someone who works a little bit more of a typical 9 to 5 type of schedule, coming home at 5:30, it's already getting dark, is incredibly depressing. Even if you do go for a little walk or a jog outside, it's going to be cold, it's dreary, it's just not the right environment to breed positivity. So having that extra hour has been so beneficial. When I get home from work, I can go for an evening walk or afternoon walk. David and I can go for a stroll after dinner, which is really nice. And it's just so nice to be able to see all of our neighbors out and about and all of the birds chirping.
For reference, Hannah and I live in Wisconsin. So during the winter, it gets pretty cold and the days get very short. The light that we have is very sparse. So it's not always the greatest situation to go outside because it can be in the single digits or even negative degrees. And with wind chill, I think there was a point where it was like negative 35 this winter. So needless to say, it does make it a little tougher here to be outside as often, but it also makes us value it. And we are a little extra grateful for when it is nice enough for us to go outside.
Absolutely. Also, another thing with having that extra hour of daytime, and as things are warming up, if you're someone who lives in a colder region, is finally having the birds come back. Studies have found that listening to bird song can improve mood, reduce anxiety, and enhance cognitive functioning, which is incredible. Think about if you have a little bird chirping as an alarm clock. I feel like that feels a lot more refreshing to wake up to than a giant buzzer sound going off.
There have also been some studies that show that hearing bird sounds make you happier both in the moment and throughout the day. It's just an overall positive thing. Evolutionarily speaking, we evolved hearing birds in the morning. For thousands of years, we were not in positions where we were sheltered from nature in a way where this wasn't a part of our daily lives.
I also think with bird song, when you don't hear any birds and you're in nature, that generally means that there is a threat. So I think our bodies have kind of attuned to that. So when we're hearing birds chirping, it kind of means that life is going on the way that it should, that there's no visible threats, everything is safe.
So, with all of that being said, you should for sure consider trying to get some extra time in nature. Get that fresh air, hear those birds, get that sunlight, and once it warms up enough, ground your feet. Sunlight not only helps you reset your internal clock, but also supplies your body with the essential vitamin D.
Something that's been really fun to do with my family when we're either camping or sitting outside or going for a walk is actually using an app called Merlin Bird Identifier. It's a really cool app and it's free that you can actually have going and recording, and it'll let you know what birds are in your area making noises. It's really incredible. And I think it kind of helps for mindfulness because then you're just a little bit more aware of the different types of birds and species around you.
Research published in the International Journal of Environmental Research and Public Health found that natural light exposure is a key factor in promoting healthy sleep cycles and reducing the risk of seasonal affective disorder. By planning your day around natural light, perhaps starting your morning with a brisk walk outside, you can counteract the potential negatives of the time change.
That's something that I'm a little bit proud of myself that I've been doing the last couple weeks very consistently, is that I have been making sure I get outside every day. And I set the whole goal of 10,000 steps because it's a very attainable goal. And I think it's just kind of the number that's jammed into our brains a little bit. And it's been so beneficial. I feel like my patience has been better, my mental and emotional health, and my mental clarity. So I cannot stress the importance of getting outside and going for a daily walk. Even if you only have 10 minutes, it's worth it.
And I want to touch on something that you said earlier. We've already had an episode on mindfulness, and it's come up a number of different times. But being outside in nature is one of the best ways to practice mindfulness. To, while you're taking that walk that makes you feel so much better, actually paying attention and being mindful to the different sounds, to the feeling of the sun on your face, to the feeling of the wind on your skin. Being present in the moment with the things around you. It's not always about focusing on your breath or doing a guided meditation. Sometimes it's just being there in the moment, and nature is a great way to help you do that.
Absolutely. Even if there's no birds or anything, you can still be looking at the shapes of the clouds, the way that trees are rustling, or maybe even just like different shades of colors.
It's well known that being in nature has a positive effect on our mental health. Being outside is more than just a change in scenery. It's a powerful catalyst for improving our mental and physical health. Stepping outdoors means breathing in fresh air, soaking up sunlight, and even grounding yourself by reconnecting physically with the earth. Research shows that exposure to natural light can regulate our circadian rhythms, elevate our mood, improve sleep quality, and produce vitamin D. In fact, spending time in nature can decrease stress levels and foster a sense of calm and focus.
I can definitely attest to how powerful just being in nature can be for your mental and emotional health. I grew up in a family that was a very outdoorsy family. So a lot of camping. My dad was always outside doing different projects, chopping wood, mowing the lawn, building forts with us as kids. So we spent a lot of time grounding because we were running around barefoot and just enjoying nature. The outdoors is definitely like a precious and rejuvenating space for my family. To this day, my sister, my mom, we do a lot of hiking. We always do annual camping trips that David has gotten suckered into now.
I will say that I have embraced being in nature even more since we started dating. And it's become something that really does make me feel a lot better. And I definitely try and seek it out more than I used to. That's for sure.
That's awesome.
A study by Bratman and colleagues in 2015 demonstrated that even a short walk in nature can reduce rumination, essentially quieting that inner chatter that keeps us anxious or stuck in negative thought loops. This research highlights just one of the many benefits that nature offers our brains and our bodies. Imagine transforming a 20-minute walk into a mini reset for your mind and a natural boost to your creativity. But it's not just about sunlight. There's something unique about the physical sensation of being grounded, literally connecting your skin with the earth. Grounding, also known as earthing, has been linked in a number of different studies to reduced inflammation and improved quality of sleep. When you walk barefoot on a patch of grass or feel the soil under your feet, you're tapping into an ancient, inherent connection that modern living often obscures. Fresh air itself can have a rejuvenating effect. Spending time in well-ventilated outdoor environments helps improve oxygen flow and can enhance cognitive function. A study conducted by researchers at Harvard indicated that people who spend time outdoors in nature report better mental clarity and lower stress levels compared to those who remain indoors for prolonged periods of time. The earth does not hurry, yet everything is accomplished. Lao Tzu. This quote reminds us that nature operates at its own pace, one that is patient, steady, and nurturing. Unlike our fast-paced, high-pressure lives, the rhythms of nature provide a sense of balance and timelessness. When we align ourselves with these natural cycles by getting more sunlight, fresh air, and grounding experiences, we invite that same calm and purpose into our own lives.
I love that. Just knowing that the earth is going to continue its natural progression of life and death and seasons and growth is incredibly comforting. When anxiety is rampant, I feel like one of the best things that I can do, and I'm sure others can do, is to just take a moment outside and realize that the world is a much bigger place than just your anxieties and just your problems. The world just continues moving. So with everything that we've shared today, I want to challenge you guys. If you're in the Midwest We have some beautiful weather this week. It's supposed to be sunny, 60s, gorgeous.
Especially compared to what it was super recently.
Right. So I'm going to challenge you guys to try to get outside once, if not twice, this week for 20 minutes. That's all. You can go for a walk. You can go for a bike ride. You can go stand outside and stick your feet in the grass, do some grounding.
Oh, you guys are lucky. She's giving you an easy challenge. I would have put it so much harder.
Yep. There's no reason why we can't spend 20 minutes in the sun. So let yourself be a flower and grow in that sunshine.
And you know what? Let's do a little throwback with the original guest of this podcast. What would you recommend people do to make sure that they take action on going outside and getting that nature in?
Something that I do that's really helped me the last couple weeks is when I wake up or even the night before, I'll take a look at what the weather is going to be. And I know what time I'm going to be home. And I choose ahead of time, what time am I going to go outside? Whether it be before work, it's nicer out after work. Oh, it's going to be kind of warmer in the evening after dinner. I kind of choose ahead of time when I'm going to take my walk, which has helped me a lot. Also, I make sure that there's no tension in getting me outside. My earbuds are charged if I want to listen to something. My tennis shoes are by the door, and I have a light jacket ready to go.
So it sounds like you're reducing the friction.
Yes, because if there's any friction, chances are I'm just going to want to stay in my cozy chair and hide away.
And she mentioned earbuds. You don't have to spend the entire time that you're outside marveling about nature. As beautiful as it is, you can spend time listening to music, listening to, a podcast or an audiobook.
Whose podcast should they listen to?
The Sage Solutions podcast. Thanks for being here.
But anyways, guys, enjoy this beautiful week. Get outside and let's grow.
Well, that's it for today's episode. I hope you feel inspired to embrace the beauty and the benefits of the outdoors as we transition into these longer days.
Bye, guys.
And remember, you are enough, and you deserve to fill up your inner cup with happiness, confidence, and self-compassion. Thank you for listening to the Sage Solutions podcast. Your time is valuable, and I'm so glad you choose to learn and grow here with me. If you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on more sage advice. One last thing, the legal language. This podcast is for educational and informational purposes only. No coaching-client relationship is formed. It is not intended as a substitute for the personalized advice of a physician, professional coach, psychotherapist, or other qualified professional.